friends, and welcome back. And today I'll be playing with the mighty Doomturtle itself, the T95 American Tier 9 Tank Destroyer, opposite of the T30. Let's run through its stats really quick. Hit point 1600, that is average. 305 millimeters of frontal hull armor, that is fantastic. I wish I could show you an armor viewer, but there is an app for it, and whenever I download it, it bugs out and crazy things. 152 millimeters on the side is impressive. Yes, 51 on the rear is not impressive, to say the least. It weighs 88.46 tons. It's not that heavy, actually, with a 734.5 horsepower engine, which is bad, because that means that has an 8.3 horsepower per ton. And, I mean, it's already limited to 16 kilometers an hour, so, yeah. Traverse rate is 27.37 degrees. Okay, that's decent, you know. It's decent for a tank like this, I suppose. And then its view range is 266.1 meters. Meh. Yes, that's how I'd describe it. Rate of fire is 4.97 rounds per minute, which at 640 alpha is 3,180.8. I realized I missed a digit when I wrote it down. Okay, anyways, I think that's correct. And it's got 276 millimeters of penetration with AP. Just love that penetration. Who doesn't love penetration? Okay, a penetration of that caliber with this 155 millimeter, because it is a 155 millimeter, which means it can, in fact, overmatch armor of 51 millimeters. Anything on 51 and under can be overmatched by this gun, which is amazing. 320 millimeters pen with this APCR. You don't often need to use APCR, but I mean, you always should carry Pramo. 90 millimeters of high explosive penetration. Beautiful. Waffles, Grillets, Leos, RUs. Just, yeah, beautiful. And 960 with Alpha with HE, which, well, here's a fun fact. It's 4,771.2 damage per minute with HE. That's, of course, if you pen all 5 of your shots, but whatnot. Whatever. Not whatnot. Dispersion is 0.341. It's not an accurate gun, but it'll do the job. It's more accurate than the Soviet 122s, and yeah. 4.2 second aim time, that is pretty bad. But then again, this is 155 millimeter. It's not one of the German 128s. And then load limit is 91.89, in case any of you really are concerned about that stuff. But a 305 on the front of this tank does not cover the whole front of the tank, of course. You can shoot, of course, the lower glacis, you know, if I could get the angle down. You could shoot these cupolas on top. And if it's angled like this, if you shoot through this front drive wheel, the inner track, if you shoot, you can go through that whole armor. It's a weak spot, and not many people use it, from what I've seen. But yeah, this thing is actually a T28 with an extra pair of tracks strapped on the front and a bigger gun. In real life, only 2 of them are produced, and only one of them is still existing, but it's rusting in a field somewhere. Yeah, it's just a further improvement on the T28 assault gun concept with better armor. Anyways, now to play some battles. Alright, we ran down the stats already. I can't English. And I did some pointless knowledge about the fact that there's only one of these that actually still exists. Let's play it. The Doomturtle. I've already played the Tortoise. I think I did a video on it. Maybe I didn't, but who knows. I bought this thing last weekend when I went on sale at the end of the Goose event. That day, I got 7.3 million credits from that event because, I mean, I completed most of the missions that actually gave tokens, and I got compensated for it because the Goose event sucks. Yeah, so I got this thing last Friday when the Goose event ended, and I also got another American tank. But this thing's... I kind of ruined its stats because I was just grinding for the 155 because reasons. But I do enjoy playing this tank. It's nice and relaxing, you know. Going places at 16. The thing that really makes me mad is when people try to do what this Leo PTA is doing. Do not push a T95. It will never go faster than 17 kilometers an hour, even if you're pushing it on flat ground. I mean, of course, downhill, I've seen it hit 19. And my first shot of the game, low rolled by 90 damage. Don't want to block the Borsig on my team. And yeah, its reload is not that bad. 12.1. Yeah, 12.1 seconds is amazing. And yeah, I didn't play this with 100% crew at the beginning, but I skipped from 81% crew to 100% crew because my clan won the tournament. And the reward was 500 gold, so, you know, I think that crews are half off or something because I got it for 425. Yeah. Anyways, the Doom Turtle is very relaxing. And other than that, look at that. Okay, Pershing's dead. I want to crest this hill and shoot this Super Pershing, who did manage pen. Oh, yes. Yeah. This thing is really bad mobility, but I mean, it doesn't need to be that mobile. It'd be nice if it was, but it doesn't need to be. And I'm going to ignore the guy on my rear because ping spikes. Yeah. I'm immobilized. I'm having some serious Wi-Fi issues right now. See, now I got my rear against some cover. And now I don't, but he tracked me with his heat round. This is the bad thing about this tank. Of course, I mean, it's big, it's slow, it's meandering, and this is probably a very bad game, simply because all of a sudden my ping started acting up, which annoys me. Otherwise, I would have not missed that shot on the STA1. But I mean, I survived. I completed a mission. I picked up a steel wall. Wasn't a bad double. Wasn't a fantastic double. Oh, 11 hits received exactly. But yeah, I was pretty decent. Let's move on. Time for our second battle. I'll be honest, the only reason I actually got the T95 was to get the 155 for the T30. Because did not want to ruin my stats on T30, and I didn't care about my stats on the T95. I don't particularly want the T110E3 because that just doesn't seem like my sort of tank. But I mean, it's another tank I can research. Last I counted, there's 13 tanks in the game I've yet to research, and there's like 20 I've yet to play because I've not played the EZ8, the M6, KV13, Ferdinand, you know, all those tanks that aren't necessary to be played. I seriously just messed up that sentence. I was trying to say, there are some tanks that are just not, I did it again. They're not necessary to be played to move on in the tech tree. Because, I mean, J Panther 2, in my opinion, is probably better than the Ferdinand. And KV13, I wasn't going to... When I first played, I researched the T43 easily, so why play the KV13? And then the EZ8, I used the Jumbo, the E2, so I didn't have to play the EZ8 or the M6. And in fact, I didn't play the T1 until recently, somewhat recently. Anyways, picked up my first kill. I've done 2 shots and a partial kill shot. And, I mean, he could have taken that shot. Oh, look at that ping spike. And FPS drop. Yeah, the weather is bad, and when the weather is bad, it affects my Wi-Fi. So, that means I get bad ping. We've lost an IS-4, they've lost an M103. Yeah, just poke out. Come on, Grillet. It's only a T95. What are you scared of? The Grillet's on the hill. There's a medium tank on that island. Yep, I saw him. Enough time to back up. But he did distract me, so that Grillet got another shot into the IS-7 on my team, I'm pretty sure. And my game froze a bit. So this is not looking to be a win. Just how it is right now. Because, I mean, my team's at a serious disadvantage. Yeah, that shot was bad. I shouldn't have taken it, but I did. And, you know, there's consequences to actions, and thankfully I had none. That guy did, though. I was lucky the Grillet used AP and hit an angled part of my armor because he does have 150 millimeter, and he can do that. Now I'm in a 2v5, and my E75 is useless. Yeah, I expected that. I did a decent amount of damage, but this guy is in a heavy tank. In my opinion, it's the best heavy tank at its tier because it's not super slow, it's got armor, it's got an excellent gun, and I mean, it's got decent gun depression. And yeah, it's not the easiest heavy tank at that tier to be circled. Yeah, that was an unfortunate battle. Look at that. 3 of their team did over 3,000. One of my team did over 2,000, that was me. 4 of the others did over 1,000, 1 did 0, and 1 did less than 1,000. Yeah, top on the team, bottom tier. It's what happens. I'll be keeping that one in just cause. Alright, now for battle number 3. Yeah, this is 2 days after starting the recording, and I aced this thing earlier today. It was a 6,500 damage, 6 kill draw, because I missed a full aim shot. 7 tier 9s on each team. That's good. That is grim. That sucks. Since that time, yesterday, which would be Wednesday, yes. Wargaming, well, spoilers dropped, or whatever you want to say about it. They released spoilers about the 3.8 equipment changes system. And oh my gosh, it is so stupid. The changes themselves, adding more equipment, having 9 slots, sure, that's good. The fact is, what am I saying? But the thing is, they added cooldowns. So how it'll work is you'll buy the equipment slot for either spare parts, which is the currency you use to buy them, or credits for the first tier. You'll buy the slot, and then you'll have to wait a certain amount of time before you can use the slot. For tier 1, it's 5 minutes. From tier 6 and up, it's 1 day for the first slot. And then it's 3 days for the second, and 15 minutes for tier 1 for the second, and 3 days, I think, for the second for tier 10. So in total, you're going to spend like 2.5 weeks unlocking all your equipment. because you can only unlock one at a time, if I understand correctly, and you cannot. There is a tier system, so you have to fully unlock the entire first tier first tier of equipment before you can unlock the second tier. So for tier 10, that's 3 days of waiting. For tier 1, that's 15 minutes. But English. But you can also skip the cooldowns for gold. That doesn't sound too bad, except for the fact that it'll cost, well, somebody estimated 7,000 gold to fully equip a tier 10 tank. And that is just stupid. That it's not necessary. They do not need to implement these timers. The app's description on either the iOS Apple Store or Google Play has a line that's in effect no cooldown timers, no energy or whatnot, because a lot of games have energy that you use to play, or certain amount of times you can play per hour or whatnot. And Wargaming was advertising that they didn't, and now they added cooldowns. Makes sense, yes? But there's good news about the update. The first tier of equipment costs half of as much as it does now. For example, right now tier 10 costs 600,000 credits without the clan supply discounts, 600,000 credits per piece of equipment. After the patch, it'll only cost 300,000. So there's that, you're saving money there. Another upside is you can earn spare parts relatively easily. You have a 50% chance to getting them each battle, and depending on the tier, it's I believe 28 to 71 per battle. And then you get awarded 20. My voice is going shaky. I apologize. 28 to 71 or whatever it is of them per battle on your count. And I, for example, have just under 25,000 battles. In fact, I am 30 battles away from 25,000. And since a lot of them are higher tiers, I will get more credit, more spare parts, not credits. Another decent feature is, wow, nice, is that, what is it? That for all the equipment that you have currently equipped on your tanks, first, you will get compensated with spare parts. And, wow, I did decent. And it's, what is it? Roughly 1 spare part per 80 credits spent. So for 1.8 million credits to fully equip a tier 10, you can get 22,500 spare parts. And then also for each equipment slot that you have filled, you will get the first tier unlocked. The first tier slot unlocked. So this thing right here, this T95, would have all three. I'm struggling right now. I don't know why. All 3 first tier slots unlocked, which is good. Yeah. And then what else? Some of the equipment is going to be interesting. 5% armor increase, 5% health increase. Of course, you can pick one or the other. Then there's 5% penetration increase, 10% better shell velocity, and 30% less dispersion at 100 meters. So, I mean, it's not bad. It's really not. A lot of them are. But there are 2 just things that I hate. One is they made optics and binocs as part of the same slot, so you can either choose optics or not optics and binocs, optics or camo net as the same slot, so you can either choose either one. But camo net now gives a 0.5%. What is it? For tank destroyers, it's 15%, right? That's not equipment. That's not misclicking. It'll give 7 For example, this will give 7%, 7% less visibility when the vehicle is moving, and it'll give the full 15% when stationary, but that is just for tank destroyers, because Camo Knight is scaled per each tank class. But there are no binocs, which kind of screws over my Grillet playstyle. Just a tiny little bit. It also screws over a bunch of soft tank destroyers like the 30 mil, the Digger Max, the Nashorn, the Flak Bus, the Waffle, the Grillet, the Borsig, basically the second line of German tank destroyers. And then, what are they? There's other tanks I know that use that sort of equipment setup, but you can't do that anymore. Either you have increased view range or decreased visibility, but you cannot run binocs and Camo Net. You cannot run optics and Camo Net. You run one or the other. The other thing is gun rammers are only 7% instead of 10%, but vents are only available on autoloaders, so that is a problem because that'll make sure that every tank in the game that can use vents and is using vents will have a longer reload. Because KV2 here, I think I have a 19-second reload on it. So it's going to have a over 20-second reload with the vents being removed because 10%. And it's just ridiculous. But the main problem with this update is, whoops, butterfingers, is the cooldowns. But I've rambled and ranted and whatnot. That was a decent game to end on, and I'm going to end this video so I can get it out to you tomorrow. And yeah, and look how close I'm to 25,000. 32 battles. But with that being said, and my ramblings that are confusing even me being said, I will have to say, what did I say? Sorry, it's been a while. I have to say, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you are new, please subscribe. Of course, if you're interested. And yes, this is like baiting. And please comment if I suck. And please comment what tank I should play next for a video. And with all that being said, and I apologize immensely for my ramblings for like 4 minutes, I'll have to say see y'all and have fun on the battlefield.